Good day, everyone. It's Kathy Lee from Kathy's Creative Place, and I'm starting my cards for the November Craftology box. And with this box, the paper line that Tammy from Country Craft Creations sent me was Santa's Workshop by Carta Bella. So one of the very first cards that I'm going to make here is this one, and I'm not sure if you can see it really well. And it seems like the light in my craft room right now is kind of odd, and I think it's probably because of the daylight savings time. But anyway, so I have this top folding simple note card, and I cut some pieces of the pattern paper, and this is actually from the 6x6 pad because it has the smaller prints on them, and they work a lot better with these types of cards. So it's kind of like a stacked gifts, and I put some cute little lace, die cut lace on them, and then I created this little tag and then put a bow at the top of the stacked presents. And then on the inside, this is just it's actually clear embossed, so it kind of looks like a watermark, and it's a little Christmas tree. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a little Christmas tree that says, "May your holidays be filled with laughter and merriment." And I thought that was really cute. So we're going to make that card today. However, I'm using a few different extra techniques. This one's fairly plain, so it's just cardstock and some cut pieces of paper, a little bit of embossing. So what I decided to do for this one is kind of the same thing, only we're going to use a few different techniques. I have a Merry Christmas embossing folder. I'm not sure if you can see that. I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera. So, oh, there we go. So you can see it says Merry Christmas, and it's just script. So I'm going to use that as the card front for the card rather than just the plain cardstock. And then we're going to again stack these cute little pattern paper pieces with some of the little lace die cuts that I use. This lace die cut set is actually from Lawn Fawn, and so I'm going to put that there like this. And then this one's going to go on top like this. I'm going to turn it up like that. It's got a little bit of directional pattern on it. And then I chose to use some satin ribbon for my ribbons. And then I'm going to use my Bow Easy to create my bow. So, and then this is a little tag that I made, and it says "Make the Season Bright." And again, I cut that little lacy pattern there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a cute little pretty top to make it a tag. So I'm just going to slide it in here in this this EK punch, and this EK punch is called I think it's for sale or something like that. It's a sale tag. And then I just kind of make a cute little topper. And then I'll put that on there. And then I'm also going to use some scrap chipboard to pop this up with to give it a little bit more dimension on the card. And then for the inside, I already did the inside. Again, I used that cute little tree stamp. It says, May your holidays be filled with laughter and merriment. And I actually did some embossing, heat embossing on it. So it gives it lots of dimension. And what I thought I would do with this is use a little embossing resist technique. And I'm just going to take my Shabby Shutters Distress ink and one of my little pad, yep. And I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm just going to create kind of like a tree. So I'm just going to take the green ink and fill it in around to kind of make my tree. Okay, so we're going to let this dry because I don't want it to get ink on the back side of the card. So I'll set that over here to dry for a little bit. Okay. Now, also I wanted to show you. Oh, by the way, these pieces, I want to give you some dimensions. This is your standard A2 card, note card, which is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. The piece itself is actually, for this one, is 11 by 4.25, and then just scored at 5.5. Okay, this one was cut to give me a white border. I actually cut it at 4 1/16 by 5 5/16. Okay, and then for these pieces, the large one is 3.5 by 1.5, and the middle gift is 2 3. Yeah, 2 7/8. Excuse me, 2 7/8 by 1.25, and then the top one, I cut this one at 2.5 by 1 5/8. So that's those. All right, and then I want to show you how I'm going to create my bow. So I'm going to use this piece. It's about 12 inches. I don't know if I've ever shown how to use a bow easy, but what I do, there's many different sizes on here, so you can make bows as tiny as this for the loops, and this, and then the knot in the middle. So see how that is? That's how tiny you can make it. That's what's really nice about this tool. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's gonna be the size of my tail. So I'm gonna put it right there, and then I'm gonna wrap it around, and then with this end you put it through the hole that's in the top of the loop, and then you take it around and you put it back through this loop you've made, and then it pushes through at the bottom like that, like you're tying a loop. And then you just pull, and I pull nice and hard to make it really tight, a really nice tight bow. And then you pull it off, and there you go. And you can adjust your tails to whatever length you want. And I've made them kind of short, so I'm gonna cut at an angle, and then The other thing that I do is for my seam bind, I do this with my seam binding as well. I take my bow and then my art glitter glue here, and I just run a line, thin line of art glitter glue on my mat. This is a cut piece of the Ranger Tim Holtz mat, and then I just pick up a little bit of the glue there, and then on this side, I do this again like I said with my seam binding as well, and this is almost better than the like your fabric no fray or stop fray. And then I just set it aside till it dry. It dries clear, and it doesn't, it keeps your ribbons from tearing apart. Okay, so I'm going to put this card together, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a chance to make this card. Okay, now we've got our completed card. I finished it up with gluing the tag on and the bow, and then attaching it to my note card. Very simple, fun, easy card.